Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19, and welcome back to Shamrock Valley with Seasons. We are down at the animal market, and we are buying some cows. We're going to get the dairy open today. We've got a really busy day, and let's just get right to it. I think we're going to run out of time, possibly a little bit. So we just bought 9 cows, and they're the same breed that we're running on Greenwich. I think, we got some options. One of the options is another breed that has they use less food, but they make less milk. I think we're okay on food. We've got that great big meadow concentrating. We've got that great big meadow right behind the dairy. I think we're going to be okay. And I'll tell you, as we're driving up the hill, I'll tell you what we've done since the last episode. So last episode, we mowed, I want to say field 2, which is one of our meadowgrass fields. And then off camera, I mowed field 7, which is the other meadowgrass. I raked field 2, just as grass. I tedded field 7, and then I've raked part of it as hay. We're going to rake the rest of it today. We're going to make some square bales from field 7, and we're going to combine those with the silage that is in our clamp right now, one of our clamps at the dairy, so we can feed these animals. We already have the pipe installed to water them, and I think because we have 2 clamps, we're going to be able to sort of rotate and have one as silage for food for the animals and the other as silage to sell. Does that make sense? I think it does. So we have a place to put the grass from field 2 right now, and we have silage in a clamp to make food. So as long as both of those options are available to us at any given moment, we'll be able to both sell silage for money, for cash, and have silage on hand to feed the animals. That's the goal. I leased the tedder that we used. I leased the rake that we're going to use. Already have used, and then we're going to use it a little bit more. I leased a square baler. I think it makes sense. Yeah, there's our hay off to the left there. I leased a square baler. I think it makes sense with these hills, and because we don't need to wrap, right? We've got our silage. We're going to make silage in the bunker. We don't necessarily need to make silage bales, and that means we don't need to wrap. And if we don't need to wrap, then I'm not worried about round bales. And with these hills, I think square bales make a lot more sense. Even though higher horsepower and more expensive to rent the square baler, I think it's worth it to not be chasing bales around forever. I got a front loader for this case that we're in right now. It's a nice front loader. It is goes with the Allo console, and it's also the modder has added some more dynamic hoses, and then the CSZ tools pack has updated. It's up to, I believe, 1.4 now. They've added a lot of new tools. I'll try to show you that if I can before the end of the episode. But that was, I think it's the same setup, but I believe the modders went by Black Lion when they made that set for 17, and it was, even by my standards, it was over the top. It was way over the top. In 17, you could walk up next to the tool before it was installed, and you could open this massive menu, and you had to loosen bolts and adjust things and tighten bolts again. It was very cool. Somebody was having a lot of fun with scripting, but it was it would cause some conflicts, and it was not super kind to FPS and save games. So it was cool, no doubt, but it was over the top. This new iteration of it for 19, to me, it's a lot more dialed back. It's still, there's tons of goodies in it, but it's more restrained. That's a good way to say it. It's more restrained, and it seems to run a little bit smoother. I don't know if it is available on console. I have to think it's not, because it is so scripty, but it's a very cool tool set. So, if I recall correctly, and I probably don't, I want to say our animal dialogue is directly behind us. So we're going to back up right here. Yeah, this feels right. Right here, is it? Is it? Find out in a minute. Just want to set the brake. Hop out here. I guess we can check it before we back all the way up. Come over here. What do you say? Perfect. So we're going to open this gate and get this thing backed up. And I do like this map. I really, really do. I don't know if you've had a chance to play it yet, but I really like it. It's got just the right amount of detail. It's got just, it's big enough, you know, but it's tight enough. It's a fantastic map. Right. So we're going to go right here. All right, set the brake. We're going to unfold. All right, like so. We do need this momentarily. All right. We can swing all the way around here now because we've got no building behind us. Very cool. Very cool. Open animal dialogue. Indeed. And we're going to move all of these right there. Confirm. Fold that back up. Get rid of that. Let's take a look. There they are. And you know what? While that's folding, I'm going to very quickly hop out here. Jump over this little wall. Run across here. Jump over this little gate. Right, like so. And let's get some water in here. Ah! I can't move that pipe. I believe once it's set, it's set. But that pipe needed to be a little bit further forward. You know what? Not the end of the world. Just look away. Look over there. These lovely trees. Don't even look at that pipe. Ugh. Details, man. Details. Right, so we'll come back over here. Back in here. Brake is off. We're going to park this up now, so we put the cover on it. Let's pull that up. Get the gate closed. Like so. And can I put this back where it was? Oh, it's kind of a big ask. Can I? There's some twists and turns there. Can I? Maybe. Oh, all right, here we go. No. No way. Yeah, I don't think I can get it around there. So let's straighten around a little bit. Right back in there. Beautiful. Can't believe that worked out. All right. So now we're going to come over here and grab our... you know what? Before we do that, let's do this. Let's drop our weight and grab our new front loader. So we can just set this right here for now. All right about here. Get rid of that. Great sound on this tractor too. I just like that. All right, so go here. What about like so? Lift that up, and I will hop out so you can take a look at this thing. All right. So yeah, this is the front loader itself has dynamic hose. Whoops. Right like that. Nice detail. And then if we can, I guess, hop up on here. So the actual attachment itself, the tool itself, has now connections to the dynamic hose on the front loader. Very cool. And then if we go in here, it's got multiple positions. So apologize for all the rapid camera movement, but you can, it's got a transport position, unfold like that, and then you unfold your tines like that. So very cool, very cool. And I think it is the same. I mean, it certainly looks the same. And I know for 17 it was Black Lion. Was it? I don't know. If, you know, when I'm wrong about this stuff, just let me know, because I'm wrong about stuff all the time. All the time. But it's a great mod kit, and it is now in the, I think it's in the official mod hub. If it's not, it is the CSZ front loader tools kit, something like that. We'll take a look before we end the episode, if we have time. Right about there. Okay. Here we go. Up through there. Yep, I think that's all we need to do up here. I did get a feed mixer. It is in one of the sheds. Oh, I took the rest of our wool down. We had, I want to say, 2 pallets left on the trailer that we couldn't sell. We had another pallet spawned that I hadn't loaded yet. We had another, like, half pallet spawned that I hadn't loaded yet. And we had 3 pallets in one of the sheds. I was stacking them up here at the farm just to get them out of the sheep meadow, I guess. And I put those on the trailer as well. So I took all of those down and sold them. And we got another $5 grand or something, $6 grand. We had a great spring for wool. We really did. And I'm hoping that this dairy is as productive as the dairy on Greenwich, which in a year started making us like 10,000 euro a day. And we'll need to buy some more cows, because I think we ended up with 30 on Greenwich that we bought. And then they made another 20 to give us a total of 50. So I think we'll need to get similar numbers on Shamrock Valley if we want similar productivity. I mean, that would make sense, would it not? Gotta have the same number of cows if we want to make the same amount of milk. Oh, there they are. Man, the spawn area for cows is immense, right? You know, a lot of maps, it can be, you know, they're in sort of a small area. Animals are in sort of a small area, but on this map, they are really spread out, not crowded in there. It's got a nice, realistic, immersive look to it. I like it. All right, so we will get this through the gate, get the gate closed. We're going to drop this trailer. I suppose, got to drive over our rows here. Always hate to do that. I suppose we will run the baler on this. Yeah, we'll run it on the Puma, because Puma's 150 horsepower. The baler requires 140, and our little Massey Ferguson 5600 is 130. So it would probably be able to, you know, make do. But let's use the proper horsepower and not tax our equipment. So we will hop in here. In the 5600, we've got just a couple more rows to do on the rake. And then we can park this up, right? Hop in the Puma, make a few bales, put them on the trailer, drive back to the farm, and see if we have enough time to get them into the feed mixer and get that where it needs to be. Right. So we go here. Brake is off. We're going to unfold. And I guess we'll just keep doing this in the order we've been doing it in, as far as like rows or whatever. All right, drop that right along here. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of different ways to rake, and part of it depends on the field. I guess part of it depends on the farmer too. You just sort of do it however you want. I'm told you have to drive over your rows a little bit. Obviously, you keep it to a minimum, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's not something you try to do, but it's not the end of the world if you drive over a row, at least with grass. Grass and hay. So that is kind of what I've been trying to do here. Keep it to a minimum, but, you know, it happens. Now, we could have, when we came in here, we could have just hopped on the baler and at least baled up this headland so we weren't driving over it. But then we would have had to pick up the bales, so we weren't driving into those. And that, I guess, is a thing too, that you do sometimes do that. You get rid of the headland first so you have an area to turn in. But like I said, there are probably as many different ways to row up a field as there are farmers who row up fields. It's just all, sort of personal preference, but within the limitations of common sense. So we'll try to apply that to our field as we get through here. Right, and then what else? Our next two grass fields are crop grass. They are triple fertilized for the most part, and that's going into the other clamp, and that is going to be silage to sell. Although I have to say, I don't really know why, because we're only going to make about $5,000 from it. I think that's a bit disheartening. I mean, if we could at 50 euro per 1,000 liters, 500,000 liters of silage is about $25,000, and I believe we made at least that from wool, and this is our first season, is it not? Yeah, so you know what I mean? Now, in fairness, we've all been saying for a long time silage is a little bit OP. It is on farm sim. Silage needs to be adjusted to be more realistic and to not be, you can't become a millionaire in 2 seasons of grass work. Not in real life, I mean. But you sure can in farm sim, at least in base game. So maybe that's a good thing that Seasons has done, is to really take the pricing down and make it that realistic, that you just can't make millions with silage. I mean, you can on base game, and I think you can if you use that BGA that we bought and installed on Gazelsberg. But in a proper game, in a realistic game, it's a lot harder to make money with silage. So we can do it, and we'll get digestate, so we won't have to buy fertilizer. But as far as making millions, no, that's been taken care of by the Realismus crew. All right, so we go, looks like a couple more passes. We want time, 18 minutes. We may not get the animals fed today. We might. No, we're not. Because we got to do a couple more rows. Then we need to get the baler hooked up. Then we need to bale. And we'll probably just bale the headland. Then we need to pick a couple of those bales up, put them on the trailer, take them back to the dairy. Not likely that we're going to do that in the next 11 minutes. It's possible. It's not likely. But that's cool. That just means that next episode we can take our time feeding the animals and figure out what we want our policies and procedures to be for that process, as far as where we want to keep our feed mixer parked, and where we want to load it, where we want to keep our hay bales, all that stuff. So we'll take our time with that next episode and figure out the right way to do it. But in the meantime, we'll have, I don't think I'm going to have pigs anywhere, so we'll just have sheep and a dairy on both of our farms for the time being. And we had beef cows on Gazelsberg. And I believe, we had beef cows on Holzer map. But I want to say we backed out of that map before we had an opportunity to sell any. And I don't know this for certain, but I guess that what you do with beef cows is sort of the same thing you do with horses. You just buy them, feed them, and when they're big enough, when they're fat enough, or when they're worth enough money, you sell them. Same as pigs, same as horses, I guess. I don't know. I've never really sold any beef cattle. We've raised them. We just never got around to selling them. All right. Or did we? See, this is what I mean, man. It's all blurring together. Too many farms, too many videos. Maybe we did sell some. Maybe we did on Gazelsberg. I don't know. It's Wednesday. It already feels like Friday. Tell you what. All right. So we got a little triangle on the end here. Always end up with a triangle. If your field isn't perfectly rectangular, you get a triangle. Go through here. Right, like that. Man, I'm just driving over all of these rows. My OCD is not liking it. Right across here. That one. And I think that's us done with the rake. And we did rent this. So it's going back. Right. Put that right there. Set the brake. This thing wasn't working that hard, so we're going to turn it off. That's a fairly light piece of kit. Right. Well, I'll tell you what we can do. Yeah, I was thinking that's not a convenient place to leave the trailer because it's got a row on either side of it. But you know what? Once we hook up that baler, we now have the ability to get rid of those rows. And so we shall. But I am going to start with the headland. So let us back up here. Now, this is a meadowgrass field. It has not been fertilized. And it has not been limed or anything. You can't do anything with it. It's just, it grows. It's just grass that grows. Right, so we are unfolded. And we'll turn this on. And we will sort of straddle this row here, lower the pickup. Here we go. Get some cruise control set. Things filling up pretty quickly though. I think we might get some bales out of this field. All right. Yeah, it's actually filling up. I wouldn't say very quickly, but quickly enough. We'll probably get 4 or 5 bales out of this headland. I'll take it. I will take it. And we do have, in seasons, we do have an estimator for how much feed our animals will consume in a year, which I think is fantastic. It's easy enough. We're not bulking up our feed, our TMR. We're not bulking it up with straw. So you just split it in half. Because we go 1-to-1 hay bales to silage bales, or in this case, hay bales to bulk silage. But we go 1-to-1. So it's easy enough. If it says we're going to need 300,000 liters of food, it's easy enough to calculate then that we need 150,000 liters of hay, and at 4,000 liters per bale, right? That's pretty simple math. So that helps out quite a bit, I think, as far as once you know how much productivity you get from a field, in this case from a meadowgrass field that will always have exactly the same yield. Once you have that number, I think it's pretty easy to figure out what your year is going to look like. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe 7 or 8 bales from this headland. I will take it. All right, one more. Wow. Okay, I wasn't even sure if we'd fill that trailer, but I think we're definitely going to. Not this time. We're just going to put a couple bales on there. We don't even need to do that because, there's no sense stopping and loading 2 bales to take to the yard to feed animals when we're going to feed animals next episode anyway. So I think we'll just, we're at 25 minutes. Let's just bale a little bit more and start to get an idea of what this field is going to yield. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and one more on there. So call it 8 bales just from the headland. So maybe 20, maybe 22. Yeah, this is going to be for a meadowgrass field, this is actually going to be productive. Perfect. Perfect. Now, I don't know what our net is. I think it's positive. Our net of creating and making and stacking hay bales versus buying hay bales. I think we saved money by doing it this way. The front loader we needed anyway. The baler, the rake, and the tedder were all leased. So we probably spent, well, just on the baler, yeah. Just on the baler, the tedder, and the rake, we probably spent, I don't know, $3,000, $4,000 leasing all that stuff. And we can buy 8 hay bales for a couple €1,000. So triple that. Yeah, I want to say we did better than break even, but maybe not by much. It may have been more profitable to just bring this in as silage and sell it and buy hay bales. Maybe not, though. Maybe not, because I don't know what the total yield of this field would be. But again, if we're at $5,000 per 100,000 liters of silage, we might make $5,000 from this field, which is exactly what we would spend to buy the hay bales from this field. I don't know. And that's offset by the fact that we are going to have a productive dairy. So, I don't know. It's business math, man. I was never super strong in business math, which is hilarious because I used to be part of a company that created enterprise resource planning software and CPM software, and all it was super high-level business math, 3D data cubes, pivot and drill, So for a cat that worked for a company that specialized in business math applications, I am really not a fan of business math. It's like one giant word problem. It's like going back to high school algebra. All right, where are we at? 27 minutes. We'll go to the end of this row, and we'll call it right there. I will finish baling off camera. I'll load the trailer off camera, and then we will, next episode, we'll haul that trailer up to the farm, and we'll pull a couple bales off, throw them in the feed mixer, and then we will scoop a couple scoops of silage out of our clamp, throw that in the feed mixer, get it all macerated, make a melange for our dairy cows. We'll go from there. Yeah, and the next thing after that, looking a little further down the road, we will mow our 2 cropgrass fields and get those gathered up with a loading wagon for silage. Yeah, all right. That worked out. Where's the sun? Let's get this thing at just the right angle. Just the right angle. Where is it? It's on the other side. All right. We're going to park it here because I think I need to make one more loop for our screenshot. But in the meantime, I can hop out and do this. There you have it, folks. Thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 19, Shamrock Valley with Seasons, and we'll see you next time. Take care now.